Hello, my name is Robert DeGarmore, and this is being recorded for uh, Christian Heritage, History 530 for the Liberty University. My discussion topic today is going to be the Scopes trial, how it was reported by the media. I'm going to use H.L. Mencken is one of my examples. Pretty interesting character. He is definitely secular. He's definitely got some issue with William Jennings Bryan, and it's evidently displayed in some of his rhetoric in his newspaper. Wanted to start out here by going over some of the news sources that I used. I found it very difficult to use the Chronicling of America database. So what I did was I went ahead and just went to some of the articles. I knew that Mencken works for the Maryland Press, and I knew that he has a National Associated Press identification by this point. What I'm talking about here is in July of 1926. He is one of the Associated Press's main journalists on the subject. But he's already established himself as anti William Jennings Bryan long before that. You got to remember that this is pretty much the end of William Jennings Bryan. He's going to actually pass away a week after the trial, and H.L. Mencken has been riding him for 20 years at this point. No, realistically about 10 years. So I also decided to do a couple other things. One thing is I wanted to see the Canadian take on this. I found a great dissertation actually on that ProCrest historical newspaper sites. But what it suggests, this guy was writing a dissertation about how the Ontario press looked at the Scopes trial. And it was kind of interesting how it's like really pro-Canadian, and like how American society is completely dysfunctional because they're having these types of issues that go all the way up to a court level. And so his reporting on it is he's showing the pro-Ontario newspapers and the negative press that's being given to this trial. That was Edward Bretz. Another one that was kind of interesting is there's a guy by the name of Edward Duffy who was running around that time. He was kind of like the little cartoonist guy. It's an excellent article, and it actually had a whole bunch of. It was a primary source because it's basically showing, what was being published as far as the little cartoons. So this article was written by a guy by the name of S.L. Harrington, and it's in the bibliography there. But he's basically showing you, and he's basically making all these little cartoons of the Scopes trial at the same time. So it's kind of fun. And then the last one, I really, like I said, I was having trouble using the Chronicle of America. So what I did was I know the newspaper that Mencken worked for, and he also was a member of the Associated Press, so his stuff went national. And he wrote an obituary for Williams Jennings Bryan that's just scathing, to be nice about it. I mean, he is brutal. And it just basically it comes straight off the newspaper. It is like in the obituary column. Not nice. I mean, come on, the guy's dead, and you're like sitting there ripping him a new one from the grave. I mean, this is right up there with Chris Como type stuff. Anyway, and so I just wanted to throw those out there. I had a great time with this particular discussion and essay group because it just showed how in the roaring 20s how things were just going totally anti-fundamentalist, and all of a sudden reality is going to hit, and it's going to create the Great Depression and come straight back and come to haunt the roaring 20s people. I think great story on as far as this momentum against I kind of think that fundamentalist Christianity was pretty much dead by the mid 20s, and then all of a sudden by the mid 30s it's 100% game on. So I thought that was a great show of a turning of events. Anyway, enjoyed it. You guys have a great week.